What's up, guys? VitalSyntax here, and I'm playing some recon class on Strike at Car Can, and I'm having a lot of fun with the sniper kit using the M98B. I don't know, I find the Battlefield 3 sniping quite rewarding. It just feels really good to shoot people in the head, and I really like the system with the bullet drop and the travel time and stuff. Although I recently went back and played Battlefield Bad Company 2, and using the recon kit in that game, I kind of prefer the lower bullet drop and the higher bullet speed that Bad Company 2 had. Something like with the M24, which is my go-to sniper rifle in Bad Company 2, had a lot faster bullet speed and a lot less bullet drop, and is probably a little bit more realistic. I guess they kind of increased the travel time and also increased the bullet drop to make it a little bit more balanced. Although I thought the recon kit was really well balanced in Battlefield Bad Company 2, and on top of that, they also removed the C4 from the recon kit. So I don't know. Hopefully, they can balance some of those things out with Battlefield 4. But another really awesome addition you guys can do to the recon kit is use the X-Bow. An X-Bow is obviously the new weapon that they added with the Aftermath expansion. All you have to do is win like 3 rounds of Scavenger to get the basic bow, and then you have to do a couple other things to get like the balanced bolt, which is a longer range bolt, and get the high explosive bolt, which is, I guess, somewhat useful if you're trying to take out vehicles or something like that. But I personally always stick to just the default bolt, and it's a really good addition to the recon class, because if you think about it like the assault class, if you use it, you're replacing your med pack, and that's the same type of penalty you have to do when you use something like the 320 or smoke grenades or something like that. Whereas the med pack's really important. Or if you're playing on the support class, you have to drop your C4. I mean, C4 is like the key tool for the support class. But on the recon side, you have to drop the tugs. Now the tugs or the little radar thing you put down on the ground, it's useful, right? It's great for spotting enemies and things like that, but it's not the most important tool that a recon class has. I mean, really, the recon kit doesn't really have all that great of tools. The spawn beacon can be really useful if you're playing something like Rush, where you're trying to move up, and it helps you have that spawn point. But even then, I feel like the recon kit's tools that it has at its disposal aren't really the best in its class. So I like to really swap out the tugs or the radar for the X-Bow, just the default X-Bow, which is basically a one-hit kill at medium and close ranges. It has a slower travel time than the balanced bolt, but I feel like I just use it in close ranges. Obviously, if you have a sniper rifle, that's a really bad choice for close range, unless you're getting really lucky. And then your pistol can be really good at close range, but you don't really have anything that's good at medium range. So I find that the X-Bow is a really good addition to the recon kit. Another thing I want to talk about in this video is I'm going to go ahead and not say anything and just listen to the background noise. Most of it's coming from my computer. So just listen for if you can hear any static or noise in the background. I'll turn off the game audio too. Now hopefully you can hear some of my hard drives spinning around. One of my hard drives is incredibly noisy lately. I'm probably gonna have to get that replaced. And then some of the fans and just the graphics cards and my CPU cooler, even though they're all set to really low fan speeds, it's quite a noisy background scene for when I'm recording my videos. I don't really mind it personally when I'm gaming or I'm just using my computer. The fan noise or my computer noise doesn't really bother me as a user, but for my videos when I'm recording, the only real way I can get rid of all that noise is if I go into another room, or I I don't know, buy a new computer case, which is exactly what I've done. I went out and bought the Corsair 550D, which is a silent-oriented case. It's in the Obsidian series. It's the lowest-end Obsidian case, but don't be deceived, it's not a low-end case. It's very nice. It's got an aluminum front bezel with double-way opening doors, but the key for me is that it's a silent-oriented case. It was kind of between the Corsair 550D for me and then another one from Define, the Fractal Design Define R4, which is also a silent-oriented case. That one was a little bit too big for me, and I'm also somewhat of a Corsair fanboy. But the way they do silent optimization is they use sound dampening material. Like, so if you've ever been to like a recording studio, or maybe in middle school or high school you played in the band class or something like that, you notice probably they always have like the foam on the sides of the wall, and what that does is it absorbs a lot of the sound so it doesn't ricochet around the room and give you a lot of reverb. So that's the same principle they're using with these cases, is they add this sound dampening material to almost the entire interior of the case. I mean, the side panel, even like up the front intake fans, they have like these little gaps that you can get air through, so there's still airflow, but it's all sound dampened. And all the top panels has sound dampening material. The back panel, basically the entire interior of the case has this foam on the inside that's supposedly going to help me reduce some of the noise that my case makes. On top of that, the case I'm using right now, if you're wondering, it's the Asa Hurricane 2000. It's a really good looking case, but the fans that it came with, I'm not a huge fan of. Double fan, but actually three of them. The two side ones that are on the side panel, because it doesn't have a windowed side panel, it has two like 240 millimeter fans. They're massive. Both of those short-circuited because they overheated and the coating on the wire melted and it made contact with the metal side panel, the case, and it actually like started smoking. And this happened about a month ago, but I scared the shit out of me because I was just playing a game and then all of a sudden I look over and there's smoke coming out of the top of my computer, and that's never a good sign. So I had to remove those fans, and luckily nothing else got damaged other than those two fans. They don't spin at all anymore. And then also the rear fan just stopped working for no apparent reason. So now I'm left with like two of the fans that actually work in it. So the case itself is optimized for airflow, but since all of the fans basically broke in it, it's not airflow efficient at all. And on top of that, now that all those fans are missing, there's a bunch of like holes in the case that allow even more noise to get through. So I just decided to buy a new case. I might do a some type of video, just I don't know, maybe like a tutorial showing you guys how to swap cases, or maybe just do like a blog type of setup where I show you guys my setup and my computer. I know a lot of people have been asking me for some type of, well, not a lot of people, but a few people have been asking me for setup videos. I was planning on doing one for getting 10,000 subscribers, but just never had the chance. And I might do something like that once I get that new case in place and set up in my gaming room. So next I just want to talk about some of the upcoming games that we're going to see in February and March, and talk about what games you guys can expect to see on my channel, because January is kind of a dead month. Nobody really is releasing any games because Christmas just happened and all the game companies are releasing their games in like November, December to try and get those Christmas kids or their parents to buy the video games for them. And that works really well, but I wish some game companies would release their games in January or over the summer, because that's when the dead zones are. That's when all of the games are all the gamers are wishing for new games that aren't being released because they were all released right before Christmas. But in February, there's some really awesome games coming out. First one is Dead Space 3. I think that's coming out on the 5th, which is actually pretty close. I might be picking that one up. It kind of depends on reviews. I did play Dead Space 2 a bit. I didn't beat it because I didn't enjoy it. So if it gets really good reviews, I might pick it up and do some videos on it. It's a single player, also has multiplayer. I think it has a co-op as well. But anyway, next one is Crysis 3. Now, I can guarantee you that there's going to be a shitload of Crysis 3 videos on my channel. Crysis 2 is one of my favorite first-person shooters of all time, and I know it's hated by a lot of people, and that's fine. In my opinion, it's one of the best multiplayer shooters out there, and I know that sounds really weird because everybody else hates it. But I will do probably a full playthrough of the single player. I'll probably do a ton of stuff on the multiplayer, so expect a lot of stuff from me for Crysis 3. Then we've also got in March some interesting games coming out. BioShock Infinite, heck yes, doing a playthrough of that for sure, and also Tomb Raider, which I remember playing Tomb Raider a long time ago on one of my neighbors. I don't remember if it was a PS1 or PS2, but I only played one of them, and I haven't played any of them since. So I'm kind of excited for this new reboot that they're doing, and I'm glad that they're doing it on all the systems. For some reason I thought it was going to be a PS exclusive, but it is Xbox, it is PS3, and it is PC. So I'll probably do some videos on that, and that's about all. So thanks for watching the video. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the gameplay, the sniping gameplay. I thought I did pretty good. I usually don't snipe too much, but anyway, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to give me a like or a favorite, and I'll see you guys in the next video.